how to transform your old clothes into new Christmas ornaments without any sewing. If you want. I mean, I like sewing, but I know a lot of people don't. What you'll need for this project is some Mod Podge. I used both the regular and the glossy. Maybe you would want the regular for kind of your base coat, the glossy for the outside. It's up to you. You'll need a paintbrush or whatever you like to use to apply Mod Podge, some scissors, and of course the ornaments. I used a combination of ones I made in previous years that just didn't sell. I also had a few of these flat plastic ones left over. That peel is so satisfying every time. And finally, you'll need your fabric. For this one, I focused on stuff that was pink, but you can work in different colors. You can combine colors together. You can be as creative as you want. Step 1 is to cut out your fabric. I found that triangles really worked the best. Something about the geometry of the triangle lets it like curve around the ball without it bunching up. It just made the final finish so much smoother. Once you feel like you have a good amount of your material set up, you can just get started, which is amazing. I love when a project doesn't have too much set up. I sit there for a minute like, did I forget something? Is there something else I need to do? Nope, not for this project. You can just go. I tried to just have them be consistent, so kind of keeping them evenly spaced out, not making the gaps between them too big or weirdly shaped where I might not be able to cover them properly. But honestly, this technique is really forgiving. You could even do the whole thing just at once if you wanted. I just found it a little easier to do kind of 2 layers. Once you're done your first layer, I would recommend deciding if you plan to try and keep the texture of the fabric on the ornament, or if you're going to do a full layer of Mod Podge over the whole thing at the end. There's no right or wrong way. It's just if you want to keep that texture, then you want to make sure to not have any Mod Podge on top of that final layer of fabric. Once you kind of have that all done, if you're doing that final layer of Mod Podge and you've done that, otherwise everything just looks good to you, the little corners are down, you're happy with it, then you can be done. You made an ornament. That's so exciting. You can just leave them to dry and they're all ready to go on the tree. Now, if you happen to be feeling a little more creative at the end, we know that I like to paint. So what I did on some of mine is I went over at the end and added some paintings. You can also use paint markers or Sharpie or whatever else you have. I really love it when there's already a pattern on the fabric and then I kind of work with it or add to it or kind of do my own little thing. That's just so much fun. Overall, with this technique, for my first time trying it, I'm just so happy with how these turned out. I feel like this is so much fun. Definitely going to do it again next year, and I hope I gave you some ideas here.